Hello dear students, welcome to English lesson. My name is Pusurmanova G.B. I am a teacher of English at Nazarbayev Intellectual School in Aktobe. So, today our lesson is dedicated to use of English models of deduction. The learning objectives of the lesson are as following. Use questions which include a variety of different tense and modal forms on a range of familiar, general and curricular topics. The next is use a growing variety of modal forms for different functions: obligation, necessity, possibility, permission, requests, suggestions, prohibition, on a range of familiar, general and curricular topics. And the last is reading objective. Read a growing range of extended fiction and non-fiction texts on familiar and some unfamiliar, general and curricular topics. So, it means that today you are going to read about mysterious places in the world. You will speak about mysterious places in Kazakhstan as well. You will, of course, think critically. You will find examples of models of deduction in the text. You're going to use models of deduction in sentences, and you will practice pronunciation of modals. Our lesson is integrated with geography and history. Now please, let's start. Look at the photograph and say what you know about this place. Is this photograph familiar to you? Have you ever seen it before? Do you know where this place is situated? Yes, that's the Stonehenge, one of the mysterious places of the world. Now, you are going to read a text called Mysterious Stones. Look at the title of the text. What do you think is mysterious about this place? Read the text quickly and check your ideas. So, you have a minute and a half for reading the text and checking your ideas. Have you finished reading? If yes, then you will read the text again and listen and answer the following questions. The questions are: how old is the place? What two possible reasons are given for Stonehenge being there? And what must have the workers used to pull the stones up? Please read the text again and listen.
Unit 10. Exercise 1C. Read the text again and listen. Answer the questions. Mysterious stones. There are some man-made places in the world that are very mysterious. Here are two very famous ones. 1. Stonehenge, England. The stone ring at Stonehenge is a famous site for tourists in Britain, but there are a lot of questions about it that we can't answer. One thing we do know about Stonehenge is that it was started around 5,000 years ago and completed 3,500 years ago. Experts think that originally there were 30 stones, but only 17 remain standing. The main thing that we don't know about Stonehenge is why it was put there. There are many theories. Perhaps it was a religious place, or it might have been a place for observing the stars and planets. We don't know for sure. And we also don't know how Stonehenge was built. Some of the stones came from 200 kilometres away, and some of them weigh 40 tons, a tremendous weight. It can't have been easy to get these huge stones into an upright position, but we think that workers must have used ropes to pull them up. But how did the stones get there in the first place? 2. The Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. Just outside the huge metropolis of modern-day Cairo, we can see the Great Pyramids of Giza. Built around 4,500 years ago, they have stood for centuries, looking out over the desert. We know why they were built. They are enormous tombstones, marking the burial place of some of the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. But there is still some mystery surrounding them. Exactly how were they built? The biggest pyramid, which marks the burial place of the pharaoh Khufu and is 147 meters high, consists of around 2 million blocks of stone. Each one weighs around 2 tons. The stone was taken from the ground and transported along the River Nile to Giza. Then it was carried, cut into blocks, and lifted to build the pyramids. This was an amazing achievement. Even today, it wouldn't be easy to do, so it must have been incredibly difficult then. And who did it? Some people think the Egyptians might have used slaves to move the stones, but experts now believe that it must have been done by tens of thousands of skilled workers.
Are you ready to answer the questions? So the answer to the first question is, the place was started about 5,000 years ago. The answer to question number 2 is, it may have been a religious place or a place for observing stars and planets. And number 3 is, the workers must have used ropes to pull the stones up. Are your answers the same as mine? I hope so. Great job. Thank you. Now, look at the text again and mark the statements as true or false, and write the sentences in the text that gives you the information. So, here are the sentences. Are they true or false? Number 1. It is not possible that Stonehenge was used for observing the stars and planets. Is it true or false? 2. The writer thinks it was easier to pull the stones at Stonehenge upright. Do you think it's true or do you think it's false? It was easier to lift the stones. What's your answer to this sentence? Let's see. So, number 1, it is not possible that Stonehenge was used for observing the stars and planets. It's false. The corresponding sentence from the text says, it might have been a place for observing the stars and planets. Number 2, the writer thinks it was easier to pull the stones at Stonehenge upright. It's false. The corresponding sentence from the text says, it can't have been easier to pull the stones upright. And number 3, it was easier to lift the stones. It's false. It must have been difficult to lift the stones, says the text. So as you see, all the 3 statements are false. What about you? Are your answers the same? If yes, then well done. Now please, in all these statements, we've used modals of deduction. Can you complete the rule with past participle and past? The sentences that we read before can help you. So, what's your idea? Let's see. To make guesses about the past, we use must, might, might not, can't, or could not, plus have, plus past participle, or the third form of the verb. What's the structure of modals of deduction? The structure is as follows. Subject plus modal verb plus have plus past participle. Please note down the structure of modals of deduction into your notebooks. Thank you. Now write down the structure plus the example sentences into your notebooks. Copy the rule of modals of deduction into your notebooks too. I will return to show you the sentences. Please write down the sentences taken from the text and underline modals of deduction. The rule, copy it down too. And the structure. Thank you. Well done. Now let's practice our pronunciation skills. We are going to listen to some sentences and underline the examples of have where it is weak. Bold the examples of have when it is stressed. Then listen and check and then repeat. So here are the sentences. Please listen and underline the sentences of have. Let's start.
Unit 10, Exercise 3. Listen to the sentences. Circle the examples of have where it is weak. Underline the examples of have when it is stressed. Then listen, check, and repeat. 1.
She must have been very happy.
2.
Yes, she must have. She was smiling a lot.
3.
I might have passed the exam.
4.
You can't have. You didn't study.
5.
He couldn't have known the answers.
6.
He must have. He passed the test.
Okay, so let's check. If you see the words underlined, it means that in these sentences, these words were weak. If you see the words bold, it means that in these sentences, these words were strong. So I will repeat again. She must have been very happy. Yes, she must have. She was smiling a lot. I might have passed the exam. You can't have. You didn't study. He couldn't have known the answer. He must have. He passed the test. Are your answers correct? Great job. Now, task number 1. Circle the correct words. 6 sentences are given with 2 alternatives. Please work in pairs, discuss, and circle the correct words. How much time do you need for this task? I think 2 minutes are enough. Did you circle the correct answers? Do you want to see the correct answers and check yours? Then you're welcome. Here are the correct answers. Number 1. She must have left because her car is not here. Number 2. They can't have played well because they lost. 3. He must have lost my number because he didn't phone me. 4. You can't have seen my brother because I haven't got any brothers. 5. We must have done something wrong because he looks really angry. And 6. I can't have eaten your ham sandwich because I don't eat meat. Do you have the same answers? If yes, then it's great. Now let's analyze. In the first sentence, not here was the correct answer. But why? Are there any key words? Yes, of course. The key word is left. So she must have been left. That's why her car is not here. In the second sentence, lost was the right answer. Why? Because they can't have played well. Sentence 3. The correct alternative is didn't phone. Why? Because lost my number. Sentence 4. The correct words were haven't got. I haven't got any brothers. Why? Because you can't have seen my brother. The next was angry. Why? Because we must have done something wrong. And the last, ham, sandwich and meat. Why? Because I don't eat. Okay, great job. You are doing very well. And here is the second task for you. Complete the sentences, use models of deduction and the correct form of the verbs in brackets. There may be more than one possible answer. Work individually, then compare your answers with partners. So for the first time, you will just work individually and think of the correct answers. Later, you will be given some time to work in pairs, compare your answers and share your ideas about the correct answers. 6 sentences are given, the verbs are in brackets and 3 minutes for you. Please start. So, did you manage to complete all the gaps? You have 1 more minute to compare your answers with another student. Okay, it's time to check. The correct answers are here. Number 1. Jane left without saying a word. She must have been very angry. 2. We don't know where they got the stones from, but they couldn't have brought them from somewhere far away. They are too heavy. 3. They recently found an ancient site in Peru. It's almost 3,000 years old, and it might have been a religious site, but we can't be sure. 4. I had my wallet an hour ago, but it's not here now. I must have left it in that shop. 5. Sally hasn't called me. She can't have got my text message. Somebody might have taken the book from her bag, or maybe she left it on the bus. This was number 6. So, do you have the same answers? If yes, then very well done. Congratulations, good job. Now, look at this picture. Have you seen these statues before? Do you have any ideas? What are your ideas about the statues? Complete the dialogue about the objects in the photo with the words in the box. So, the words are given. There are 8 phrases. Can't have built, don't believe, might be, must have been, could have built, might have used, must weigh, and could have been. All of them are modal verbs, and some of them are models of deduction that we use to talk about past events. Now, here is the dialogue between Sally and Mike. Please discuss and complete the gaps given. There are 8 gaps and 8 words and phrases in the box. Please work in groups of 3 and complete all these gaps. 2 minutes for this task. You can start. Okay, are you ready? Did you manage to complete all the gaps? The correct answers are as following. Wow, look at them, they are amazing. What do you think they were used for? The guidebook says that nobody is sure, but the people here might have used them to honor important people on the island. I think they could have been images of gods that the island people worshipped. You might be right. Do you think that aliens could have built them? No, I don't believe that. But humans can't have built them. Each statue must weigh hundreds of kilograms. But they did build them. Our ancestors must have been more intelligent than we think. So, what about your own answers? Are they the same as these? If yes, then that was a great job. It means that you understood how to use models of deduction. Thank you, well done. Task number 4. Complete the sentences with must, can't, or might, could, and the verb. 6 sentences. The verbs are in brackets. Please complete. 2 more minutes for you. Don't forget that in some cases we use modals for present and in some cases modals for past. Okay, are you ready? Let's check. The first, the exam must have been very difficult. Only one person passed. Number 2, he can't have left the country. He hasn't got a passport. 3, our dog didn't come home last night. I'm worried the car might have run him over. 4, you can't have finished that book. You only bought it yesterday. 5, she must have been really angry. Did you see how much she ate? And 6, I think I could have seen this film before, but I can't remember. So, these are the correct answers, but remember that you can change any of these answers because it depends on the speaker's viewpoint. It depends on how sure the speaker is about the past. That's why there is no exact correct answer. Well done. Thank you for your job. Now, look at the pictures and make comment what you think. Must, might, could or can't have happened. You will have 15 seconds for each picture. Discuss in pairs. So, as you understood, you will be shown pictures and you will have 15 seconds to discuss in pairs and use models of deduction. Picture number 1. 15 seconds. Picture number 2. Fifteen seconds have finished. Picture number 3. Next picture, 15 seconds. If you want, you can note down your sentences. Next picture. Next. The next. 15 more seconds. Okay, now have a look at the answers. They must have been waiting for a long time. Next picture. You can't have done this. Next picture. She might have worked a lot. Next picture. He might have lost his job because he looks sad and he is alone, and also there is a packet. Next, they could have played tennis. Yes, maybe because tennis is a team sport. Next picture and the last one. They could have found an interesting project. Yes, as you see, these people work in an office and maybe they were discussing the project. Okay, the last one. She could have lost her wallet. Okay, now let's discuss. Do you know any mysterious places in Kazakhstan? Maybe not, but there are some places that are really mysterious. For example, Valley of Balls. There are a lot of big balls. Next is mysterious pentagram. This picture was taken from the space, and it's clear that there is a pentagram, which is the devil's sign. And the next one, Мертвая lake. This lake is called Мертвая because when people go there to swim, they all die. And nobody knows what was the mystery of the place. Why are these places mysterious? Discuss with your partner each mysterious place in Kazakhstan using models of deduction. Try to use the models of deduction for each picture. So, these are the possible answers. Valley of Balls might have appeared as the result of falling comets. Number 2. The pentagram could have been created by the Soviet Union. And 3. Мертвая lake might not have cursed by someone as many people think. Please provide feedback on the new things you have learned today. Can you tell me what we learned today? Today we have learned a lot about mysterious places in the world. We have also practiced our reading skills. We have spoken about mysterious places in Kazakhstan. And of course, we have studied models of deduction. Now, here is a home task for you. Write about one mysterious place in Kazakhstan. Follow these points. What is it? What was it used for? Why is it mysterious? And why is it used for now? Okay, and here are the references that I use. Thank you for your attention. You can find the given material on moodle.nis.edu.kz. It was very nice to work with you. Thank you. Goodbye.